we shine on the light. We all over the world, Chatnite Africa. We all over the world, Chatnite Africa. Welcome to Chatnite, we bring you good vibe, we shine on the light. Welcome to Chatnite, we bring you good vibe, we shine on the light. We all over the world, Chatnite Africa. We all over the world, Chatnite Africa. Welcome to Chatnite, the only place that we give you good vibe. Chatnite Africa.
Chatnite Africa, let's gang up, change mindset, and empower Africans. Are you ready? Africa to the world.
And now, live from the headquarters of Chatnite Africa, Divine Shamika.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of Family Matters on Chatnite Africa. My name is Divine Chamukong. I am anchoring this broadcast from Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. If you're not lucky, you find yourself in a crossfire between your mother and your wife. Your mother is with the impression that her son is married to a controlling woman. Your wife, in battle with your mother, believes that she is to be your priority, and so your mother should stay out of your marriage. Listen, gentlemen, how do you love your wife without at the same time alienating your mother? How do you love your mother without leaving the impression that your wife is in second place? Family battles on Family Matters at Chatnite tonight. And to answer these questions and more, I invited the Reverend Dr. Caroline Vando as our speaker this week. Please join me now in welcoming Reverend Vando on the platform.
Thank you.
Welcome, Reverend Dr. Caroline Vando, once more on Family Matters at Chatnite. My first question tonight, Madam, what is it that makes some mothers unable to stay out of their marriages, of the marriages of their sons?
Thank you so very much, Divine. That's a very important question because this particular issue is a very, very strong issue and a very strong problem in many families. Some families manage it well and some they don't. Actually, the mother-in-law, we are talking about the mother of the husband, in fact, has a connection with the son right from conception. And they have been very close for, I don't know when the son got married, maybe for 25 years, 30 years, 35. And it's very difficult to just suddenly just break away from his life completely. So the tendency for her to always come maybe into his home to see him or want to know how he's faring and all of that, that tendency is there because of the long time relationship. And some mothers can be very close to their sons. And if we consider the fact that some mothers single-handedly bring up their sons, Okay, you take a single mother who has struggled so much to see the son succeed. That burden is still there, that desire is still there. And she will always like want to know how he is faring on and want to see him succeed. So that sometimes will push her to come in, and some women come in too much. Some women don't even understand. They just have that mind that they are in charge, they are married. And of course, the word of God says, let the man leave his parents and cleave with his wife, and they become one. Some women just take it overboard. And it's like they don't just want to see their mother-in-law at all. But answering your question, it is just that natural, that bond that the mother has with the son for a very long time. So just to cut it off like that is so difficult. But a wise woman will understand, because she too is a woman. She's going to also have children. It's a what goes around comes around. And so a wise woman will know that it's not easy for that woman just to forget about her son and just leave him completely. Not some women don't even just want to see their mother-in-laws come around. Even though some mothers-in-law, they too are difficult. It's just an issue of character right here. They overdo it. They come and step right into the space of the woman. But if this mother-in-law is a reasonable woman who just wants to just see the son, love him, just continue to be in his life, I don't think there should be a problem. But this matter of enemy, woman enemy to woman, I wrote a book on this. Most women don't stand other women. There is this thing of jealousy. There is this thing of competition. I don't know why. Because as a mother-in-law, you cannot just stay away from your child completely, never go to his house, never communicating with him. It's not possible. Let us just be realistic. Even talking right now, I just feel tears coming in my eyes. Let's just be realistic. A woman that has been believing God for her son, and there are many women who have struggled all their lives just to see that their son grow up and be a responsible man. And then if somebody comes in, is good, that's just what it is, that's just life, and doesn't want to see you. It is so heartbreaking. What do you want her to do? To suddenly forget about the child that she brought up? And again, in the other side, you as a mom, you should also learn to just let go. When you are coming to see your son or you come to his house, at least you respect the space of the wife. You just understand that. Respect her. A wise woman will be very close to the wife. That's what I do. I have pulled my daughter-in-law to me. I'm very friendly. So much so that I can get anywhere in her house. Even if they are in their bedroom upstairs. Oh, mom, come up. Why? Because we've been very close. And so I always advise mothers-in-laws. I say, listen, if you love your son, what you should do is love the wife. Make the wife your best friend. In that way, your son will be peaceful. And in that way, you can always have that access to your son and have that companionship, that fellowship with him and the wife freely, and your grandchildren. So it takes wisdom. But again, there are some women who are, I don't know, so controlling. Their own level of jealousy is so high. They even get into competition with their mother-in-law. Oh my God. I don't know whether they don't have a heart. Do you have a heart when you look at that woman? Do you have a heart that you just don't want to see her? You don't want her to come to your kitchen. Oh no, she shouldn't touch that, or she shouldn't do this, or she shouldn't sit with her son. You know, some women even fight over where she should sit, even in the car. You know, sometimes I begin to ask, I say, where have we kept respect? Because even looking at the age, because a mother-in-law should really be like the mother to the girl. You understand? So just that elderly respect that you can just give her. And just after all, she's passing. She cannot, I always tell women, I say, listen, your mother-in-law can never sleep behind your husband. So what's the problem? Even if she comes and whatever she is doing, why can't you just be wise enough just to be patient with her? After all, she will go. Okay, even with those that stay with you, she has her own room. After all, you are not everywhere at all times. What is it? This issue is a very, very important issue. And I want to talk to the young girls. As an older woman, I've been married 30-something years. I beg you in the name of Jesus, the seed you are sowing is what you reap. God is not mocked. What you sow is what you reap. So if your heart is so selfish, your heart is so wicked, you do not want even that mother, oh my God, to enjoy her son anymore because you are married to him. Remember, you will also be a mother-in-law and you'll be treated in that way. Then I tell mother-in-laws, I said, do not exaggerate. You also have mercy and compassion on that wife. Because when you just take over and it's like it's not existing, because there are some mother-in-laws that will come and even be cooking for their son. They will cook for him. They will do laundry for him. They will just take over what the wife does. No, I say it's not right until the wife asks for your help. Then you give it gracefully. You know what I can tell us women? Listen to me, mother-in-laws. Listen to me, wives. We need to love one another. Where there is love, there is no strife. We need to have mercy, compassion for one another. We are women. We know what we go through. It's not easy to be a wife. It's not easy to also be a mother-in-law. It's not easy just to release your son in the hands of another woman completely. You know, we just have to be reasonable, have mercy, and have compassion. And don't just treat one another as if we just have a knife on one another's throat. Why? The world is passing. We are not going to be here forever. And then when one of us, one of the, whether it's the mother-in-law or the wife, when they die, then you see the other one is crying. Why are you crying? That is hypocrisy. It's why you crying. Maybe you are part of that one's death because of the way you are treating her. Okay, look at mother-in-laws who are elderly. I mean, in fact, you should give your all, because tomorrow you will be elderly too. The seed you are planting, will you reap it tomorrow? You need to give her that care, that love. Give her space in your house. Some women will not even accept. They will say no, they don't want to stay with her. I mean, I'm like, this is not right. Some of the women, they have a reason, because some mother-in-laws, they are just horrible in character. All of this boils down to what? Character. That is why I always tell women, if you are spending money to look beautiful, I beg you, spend money to buy some books to read, to improve on character, how to relate with people. If you don't have any respect for your mother-in-law, I don't think you have respect for your mother. And it boils down all to character. A good woman would treat that mother-in-law well. After all, she's elder. She's much older than you. You just have that compassion and knowing that it's not easy, that you bring up a child, and for the women who have struggled on their own, bring up that son, and then some other woman comes in and say, I'm the boss. I don't want to see you anymore. It is inhuman.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
You have a son that's married. I know you love your son a lot. You like to hold hands with your son. You like to hug your son. How do you do this in a way that your daughter-in-law is not feeling that you're trying to take her place?
Divine, actually, I do that. I love my children. And trust me, nobody will take them away from me. Why? I use wisdom. What I do is, I also go very close to the wife. I make sure I hug her often. I hold her hand too. And make her, feel I'm her mother. I pour love on her. Wash her with love. Then when I'm doing that to my son, she will know that, I'm just that loving and caring person. Sometimes I hold their hands, both of them, at once, and we are walking together. Each time I'm going out with my son on a walk, because my house is close to the house of my son. So when I go and he has to go see me off, I invite her. I say, come, let's go. Come, let's go. I make sure I'm holding her hand too. I hold the hand of my son, and we walk together. We talk together, and make sure I'm really paying attention to her, because I know how women are. We are too sensitive, too touchy. So I pay attention to her. And in that way, she's comfortable. It wasn't easy at first. It wasn't easy. But I kept walking.
You do a lot of counseling. What are some of the ways which mothers-in-law have become a problem in the marriages of their sons? Some very practical ways. What are you hearing?
So much. Some mother-in-laws, they are very controlling. They want to control their sons and want their sons to listen to them, not to their wives. As I said before, some mother-in-laws will go as far as cooking for their sons in his house, in the kitchen of the wife. It's not right. If the wife says, Mom, help me, please, can you prepare this? That's another thing. You are doing it, under authority. Because whether we like it or not, that is her territory. And you have no right to just come and start feeding her husband without her consent. No, it's not right. Some mother-in-laws will just come to the house and just take whatever they want to take with no permission. They just get into things without asking the wife. I mean, the wife will normally feel, despised or looked down upon. Human beings are always like that. They crave for recognition. They crave for possession. So you don't get into somebody's territory and behave so freely. When I go to my son's house, I'm always behind the wife. I'll be like, okay, what about this? Should I not? I ask humbly. She'll say, oh yeah, Mom, oh yeah. Get it, or do that. I'm humble, and I wait on her to give me the permission. But some mother-in-laws they are just like, there's nobody in this house. You don't transmit that type of message. No, even the way they move, even the way they act is like there is no woman in this house. It's only me. That's a wrong attitude. And again, there are some daughters, no matter how humble the woman is, even if she's lying on the floor, she will still say she's not low enough. It is wrong also. As I said before, it's all character, wisdom. In all you're getting, get wisdom.
You began by saying that we, take the African context, because we're broadcasting largely to Africans. You began by saying that these are mothers who toiled under the rain and sun. Some had to harvest coffee, make mud blocks to pay the school fees for their sons. And so here are you on this show saying they should ask for permission from their daughters-in-law. Isn't the very feeling that you have raised your son, a woman has come and grabbed him, isn't the fact that you're saying, well, they should take permission, they should not begin to feel like strangers in the homes of their sons? Isn't that the stage for confrontation right there?
That's a very good question, Divine. But let me tell you something. Wisdom is profitable to direct. There are many women who have problems, and I don't know. Are we okay, Divine? I see something coming up on the screen here. Are we okay?
We are good.
Okay.
We are okay.
Okay. You see, wisdom is profitable to direct. So if we can be wise, I tell women, if you love your son, the best thing to do is to love the wife. Be humble. Take that permission. Just to keep peace. Let peace reign. Because when peace reigns, your son will be peaceful. Your son will be more productive. There will be peace in his home. Because you love him, you sacrifice. The life of a woman is a life of sacrifice. When she was pregnant, she sacrificed on that table to put to bed that son. And she sacrificed to bring up that son. So our lives is a life of one long sacrifice. So this woman will also continue to sacrifice in order that the son should be peaceful, in order that there should be stability in his house. A wise woman will do that because she loves the son. I do it because I love my son. I love my son so dearly. So what I do is I go as low as I can go in order that he has peace. When he's peaceful, I'm happy. And therefore, I'm fulfilled. So the life of a woman is one long sacrifice. There's nothing you can do about it, because the word of God, even God himself says that the man will live and cleave with his wife. You cannot come against that. And so it is only the wives that could have mercy, because that same mercy will be extended to her tomorrow. That same wife, the wife should have mercy, so that tomorrow she also will receive mercy. Divine, there's nothing that mother can do, because if she comes by force and she wants to be controlling, she wants to say, I was the one that worked hard to bring him up, there will be trouble. The son will not have peace. The son will not have a healthy home. And the one that stays with him, sleeps with him, is the wife. For him to be peaceful, you need to be very close to the wife, love her, serve her in any way that will bring peace, so that your son will have a peaceful life. I don't know whether I answered that question.
You absolutely did. We will come back to re-examine some of the areas where mothers-in-law are really a problem. But the question I want to ask you, thank you, Rosemary Ewanga, Rosemary Ngetsa Bloom, all of you guys, Shay, Ate, Tata, watching, lots of you watching, and lots of people will be watching this broadcast. It's live on YouTube as we speak, and also live on Facebook. The question I have for you has to do with the attitudes of some wives towards their mothers-in-law. I went to a wake service in Maryland at some point, many, many years back, and I see this woman who carried the effigy, or the enlarged portrait-sized picture of her mother-in-law. The mother-in-law just passed, died, and dancing and weeping, and people sit there laughing at her. Do you really regret the death of this woman when we saw the way you were treating her? So what is it that leads some wives to get so hostile to the mothers of their husbands?
And
then we only see these crocodile tears being shed at a funeral ceremony. You see the woman dancing, carrying and crying and making beautiful speeches there, saying how wonderful the mother of her husband was. So what leads to, what is it that creates this atmosphere of confrontation, that turns the wife, who ought to be respecting, you would think, the mother of her husband, that unfortunately she gets so hostile to her? What is it that causes this?
Divine, I have to say this, and I have to be very blunt. Some women have very wicked hearts. They are just wicked. Some very selfish. As I say, it's a matter of character. But listen, when you are wicked to somebody, you've just planted a seed. You cannot end well. That's one thing we forget. Life is spiritual, it's not physical. What you plant is what you reap. Some women are just wicked. I call it wickedness because a woman, your mother-in-law, is an older person to you. Even if she does anything wrong, You should have a place in your heart to forgive her and talk it over with her and still love her. How long are you going to have her with you? Naturally, if people should die as they come to the world, she would definitely die before you. The short time she has, why are you very wicked, selfish? Will you? Oh my God! Some women used to say, when they circumcised that man, you were not there. You were not the one that rubbed oil on his penis. So what makes you so angry, so jealous, so wicked towards the woman that brought forth the man that is married to you? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, nature has given the man to you. God has given the man to you. It's yours. Are you fighting him are you fighting him with his mother? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It's just wickedness, selfishness. Some women are too jealous to a fault. How can you be jealous of your mother-in-law? It doesn't make any sense. Even if she's doing some things that offend you, just because of her age, you can respect her. And I mean, talk to her with some respect and just keep doing good. You see, the word of God says, and the wife would do good to the husband all the days of her life. If you can do good to your husband all the days of your life, you should do good to that woman for the short time that you have with her. If she did not carry that child who grew up to be a man, you will not have a husband. Okay, you are also putting to bed. All right, tomorrow you will also go to your son's house. And do you expect his wife to treat you well? Do you expect the wife to also forgive you when you make errors? Look, let's be careful when we plant, because as we plant, is just as we reap. Me, I love God, though. You cannot bribe him. So most women divine answering that question, most part is just wickedness, selfishness, and just wickedness of heart. Some mother-in-laws are also, they have bad characters, but for how long are you going to be with her? Why don't
What
you
would you, Reverend Caroline Vando, you happen to be blessed that probably one, you were not in opposition to the choice of your son. Perhaps if you were, your daughter-in-law wouldn't be so nice to you because, by the way, you didn't want your son to marry. But again, that's not a scenario. You love each other. But could it be that this mother, what would you do if you were being mistreated by your daughter-in-law? Would you tell your son? Here's why I ask you this question. I know of many situations in the United States that mothers-in-law are being treated like trash.
Oh,
They cannot tell their sons what their daughters-in-law are doing to them, because if they did tell their sons, then their sons could begin to interpret that their moms don't want them to marry their wives. So what would you do if your daughter-in-law mistreated you, manhandled you, rough-handled you? Would you tell your son? At least, because we know situation that mothers-in-law, once the man is out of the house, his mother is in virtual slavery. She can't go to the fridge. She can't touch anything. And then this poor woman, old woman, perhaps doesn't even know how to call, cannot tell. And even if she does, she cannot tell her son what is happening. Dr. Caroline Vando, what would you do?
You see, a divine, I'll first of all talk to the wife. I will tell her, you are doing this and doing that is not good. please don't do it again. If she continues, I will sit her down with my son and we will discuss it. I will say, this is a point of discussion. Maybe I'm doing something wrong and I don't understand. Please, let's discuss it together. And then I put the point down. And so that let her tell me in front of her husband the things that I do wrong. Remember, I said I'll first talk to her. Because it's not good to die in silence. The world is not ending in a day. I'm not going to die tomorrow. I have life to live, and I am in my son's house, especially in the diaspora. I don't have where to go. So I have to first of all talk to her in love, pureness of heart. And then if she is not changing, then I'll invite my son, invite her, and just say, let us discuss. Let us talk about this. There's something, maybe I'm doing something wrong. And then all of us will look at it and we talk about it. Because divine, I will never encourage any woman to die in silence. There are many mothers that are killed by the very daughters-in-law, by the way they treat them. They die before their time. Their hearts are broken. You know, they are very unhappy. Some don't even eat. I'm telling you, the wife will cook and she will just stay her quiet.
You must be hearing a lot of things as pastor in the United States.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It was, when was it? I was just talking with my husband. I said the way they treat some mothers-in-law in America, I said, oh my God. I said, let God, but let me tell you something divine. And I just hope one woman is listening to me. Look, let me tell you, what you plant is what you reap. You can think you are doing fine now, treating that woman anyhow, lock her up like a dog, don't give her the right things to eat, don't take care of her. I'm telling you, there is a God in heaven. And when that woman bows down her head and tears roll, God is going to remember her suffering and it shall never be good with you. Look, let me tell you, if you think you are doing that and going away with it, your husband doesn't know, you are just enjoying life, you have everything, car in the garage, chicken in the pot, and money in the bank. Wait, you are just an accident about to happen. Because God will not close his eyes. Those tears that drop in the eyes of that old woman, they are very dangerous. If you are a wise woman, a wise girl, that is the time to plant in that life. Divine, let me say something. Look, we do not know how to tap into long life. We don't know. You say, oh, people are just dying very early. Oh, this woman has this and that. Some of those things we have looked for with our hands. If you see an elderly person, that is the time to sow in the life of that elderly person. When you do that by your good deeds, your care, what you are doing is that you are tapping that grace of long life. You also will live long and you also will be taken care of. Oh my God. But if you are wicked, you treat that mother anyhow, you make her your housemaid, you make her your babysitter, and you don't even care. You make her your house cleaner and everything, and you are just so arrogant about it. I am telling you, She doesn't say anything, but when she sits by herself and those tears roll, she remembers what she's been through, and those tears roll. She didn't say anything to the son. She didn't say anything to you, but let me tell you, those tears are hot tears, and they will haunt you. My daughter, flee. My daughter, flee from those type of things. Stop as you're listening to me. Change the way you treat that old woman. Change the way, Kasika Shepherd, you look at her. After all, she has put to bed the husband. She's given him to you. What do you want from her? What do you want from her? Divine, do you know? Oh my God, there is just something in my heart. Do you know in America, a woman would leave her house, go to work, walk 2 shifts, 3 shifts, and that woman is struggling with the children, and she would just arrogantly come home and don't even just care. Someone even asks, how was your day? They just despise the woman. Oh, the pain of a woman. I cry. I just pray that one woman will listen to me. If you are doing that to your mother-in-law, I'm telling you, you change from today, because it will not be well with you. God will hear the cry of that woman. There's nowhere she could go to, nobody to complain, because the only person she has is your very husband, that you will sleep on the bed and speak in his ears and comfort him and tell him lies. It's okay. That mother is not there. She's not hearing what you are saying and turning the son against her. But there is a God in heaven that hears and knows. And let me tell you, be careful with the tears of a mother. I don't know to whom I'm talking, but I feel this thing in my spirit that there is a woman you need to change, because it shall not be well if you continue in that direction. Oh, Shakasiki.
You are watching Family Battles on Family Matters on Chatnite Africa.
We love Chatnite Africa. Keep watching Chatnite Africa.
Thank you, Perpetuatata. You say, Mama, that's true. You are strength on point. You're right on point. My name is Divine Chamakong. I am anchoring this broadcast from Washington, D.C., metropolitan area. My guest is Reverend Dr. Caroline Vando, who seems to have had an earful of problems between daughters-in-law and mothers at home when the man is gone to work. Reverend Dr. Caroline Vando, I just had a text, and if you have a phone where you are, you can dial the number 240-603-7367. As you see, it's getting really hot here. 240-603-7367. And planet Earth, the 4 corners of the globe will hear you. You can disclose your name. You don't have to disclose who you are. Just ask the question or share an experience you watched somewhere or you heard happening somewhere. Here is a text. I think this is from a gentleman. He says, Dr. Caroline Vando, I noticed that when my wife's family come to the house, my wife is the sweetest human being you can think of. But when my own family come home to visit, she gets really, really grumpy. Have you heard about this? Have you noticed this? Have you, in your counseling sessions, had to handle situations like this?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Many. Oh, God. You know, Divine, somebody said that he had a near-death experience. And he saw very few women in heaven. I'm a woman, I believe it. Because some women are very selfish. I don't know why they are being selfish. Why? When it is theirs, it's okay, it's fine. I know some men are too. But we are talking about mother-in-law and daughter-in-law now. Some women are just selfish. I'm asking, why are you being selfish? Are you going to live in this world forever? Are you going to live here forever? There will be a day. There will be a day, my sister, my daughter. Some women, I'm telling you, the way they can be selfish, the way they can be jealous, that man is their brother. That man is their son. You have him. They are just visiting. Why do you behave so selfishly? I cannot. Listen, if you are a woman and you behave like that, I beg you, you are digging a pit that you fall inside. Trust me, you wouldn't miss it. You can go and write it down and say, this doctor said it. Yes, it is a pit you are digging. Because when they come and they leave with heavy hearts, I'm telling you, it is a very bad prayer against you. They are powerless. They don't have anything in that house. They are just visiting. They are passing. You are the one in charge of the man. I don't know whether some women can just eat up the man, swallow them to know that they are in charge. Oh, Jesus, help me, Father. You have everything. If they come, can't you say, thank you for giving me this wonderful son? Thank you that I have a husband now. Thank you. And be kind to them. And appreciate your husband. So let me say this. Listen to me, women. If you love your husband, you will treat his family well. It is a sign of love and respect. I love my husband so dearly. I'm very particular when it comes to my in-laws. It doesn't matter how they treat me, I still love them. I still love them. I love my mother-in-law to pieces. It wasn't easy when I got married.
Now, just hold your thoughts there. We have Rosemary Ewanga on the line. Hello, Rosemary.
Hello, what a great topic. It's an honor to meet her, Dr. Vando, for the first time. Thank you so much for your teaching. Thank you for the great words of wisdom. But I just have maybe a comment or an experience. What about those we living in the diaspora? You have, the culture is different, and you have a lot of men who work hand in hand with their wives, help with the kids because of the way the work schedule is, dropping off, picking up, helping with showers and everything. And then as soon as their mom, their family is visiting from the husband's side, they changed 100%. They are not helpful anymore because their family is home, because they are afraid to be criticized by their family or their mom for being like a man who, I don't know, less than a man for helping your wife. What would you say about that? Because I think that happens a lot and it's very concerning. I have a two-part question. This is the first part.
Okay. Can you respond to that, Reverend Vando?
When people come from home, I understand that, my sister. And I feel women in this situation. When people come from home, they don't understand this society. And so back in Africa, the man is like a king. It's the woman that does everything. So when they come here and they see the man doing those things, it's like, oh, the man is a slave. I understand that. You know what the man should do? A good man will sit down, whoever, and explain to them and say, look, in this society, this is what is happening, that is what is happening. We have to walk hand in hand. So when you see some things, please don't question, because this is not Africa. We don't have help. We have to help one another. They have to know anything that somebody does not understand. Abuse is evident because he's just talking from his own knowledge or her own understanding. And many women are suffering from this. It shouldn't be so. If any man is listening to me, please always explain to your people when they come. Let them understand where you are at, understand the activities, and therefore they should handle the home or the family as it is in America, not in Africa.
Your second question, Rosemary.
Okay, my second question is part question and part suggestion. Don't you think it would be nice that we can start with the younger generation of our daughters and sons? We should start teaching them, or our the way they raise our grandchildren, to start teaching them to be respectful and having shared responsibility in a home, teaching our boys to be partners to their wives, teaching our boys to be wives, husbands to their wives, and helping them by teaching them to start working together, helping their sisters, share to share in the chores that we give them, because I think that in Africa in particular, we have come to a point where, girls we expect so much expectations are placed on the female child, while the male child is sitting there maybe watching a football game, outside playing while the girl is cooking. I just think that we have to change the trajectory of the way we raise our children. I don't know what you think about that, but I just think that we have to change the whole scenario, because we cannot keep living and keep saying this is the way we're doing it in Africa. The world is changing right in front of us. The globe is so small now. So I just think that it's something that we all have to work on, the way we are raising our boys to be men, and there's so much expectations placed on the girl child, and the boys are getting away with it, and that's why they grow up. We do not raise them to be husbands and partners to their wives. Mm-hmm. We raise them to be kings, and everybody cannot be a king. They can only be one king. What do you think about that? And thank you for taking my question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rose Mary Ewanga. Yes, want to react to that, Reverend Dr. Caroline Vando?
Yeah, that's a very good remark. I want to say this. She is right on point. The word of God says that God assigned the man. The woman wasn't there. And the man was very self-sufficient. It was God that looked at the man and said it's not good for him to be alone. So the man was self-sufficient. So before the man gets married, he has to be self-sufficient. He has to know how to clean, to cook, to do laundry and all of that stuff. He was alone. So any man who gets married without knowing how to keep himself is not correct, it's not right, it's not biblical.
When you watch marriages, are you of the impression, Reverend Dr. Caroline Vando, that people were really prepared for it? It seems to me, and I could be wrong, that oftentimes people see marriage as just having a woman with you in bed who cooks. You go to work, she cooks, makes children, you pay bills together, but they are not prepared to handle some of those difficult moments. Could that be the reason for all these family battles, some of which we're discussing tonight?
Divine, I'm telling you, in this generation, I think we have to start some classes to teach people before they get married. People look at marriage just do you know some men think women are their house girls? Some even go far to think that the woman is there for their family. Do you know that in this generation, a man will want the woman to take care of him and take care of his sisters and brothers? You know, Pastor, that thing is loud. You know, it is very, I don't know, I don't understand that your thing is loud. I do not know whether they have lost their minds. We need to train the young people. We need to train people in this generation what is meant by marriage. Somebody will get married to his wife, and that wife becomes a slave. She would take care of him, take care of in-laws, before she would take care of her own self and her own people. One person. It's not correct. The man was self-sufficient before the woman came. They are not prepared divine. They are not. They just look at a woman as a sex tool. They look at the woman as a slave or a house girl. Please, if anybody wants a house girl, just go look for a house girl and pay her as a house girl. Don't say you are getting married. Because if you get married, you will treat her as a wife. You need to respect her as a wife, honor her as a wife. And if that woman, the word of God says that if she's not happy, your prayers will not be answered. He says, the word of God says, deal with her with what? With wisdom and understanding. But some men just feel the woman is there to cook, to clean, to do all. The worst one is, even to his sisters and brothers, the woman should clean for them, cook for them. I mean, need divine, we need to teach.
You are watching Family Battles on Family Matters on Chatnite Africa.
We love Chatnite Africa. Keep watching Chatnite Africa.
Reverend Dr. Caroline Vando will be back to answer the question. She'll be back after 40 seconds to answer the question whether the men, the husbands, could in some ways or in many ways be responsible for the crossfire they find themselves between their moms and their wives. We will be right back after this transition signal. Stay tuned.
Chatnite Africa. 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 Africa by continent. Africa is a beautiful place. Chatnite Africa promotes Afrocentric solutions to Africans' challenges.
Once again, welcome. We will be bringing back Reverend Dr. Caroline Vando once more on the platform. Reverend Vando, the most difficult situation to find oneself as a man is to be caught between the crossfire between your mom and your wife. You want to go to a party, your mom comes to the front seat, she insists on sitting there, and your wife say, hey, mom, I'm the madam in the house, this is my seat. It can be a tough place to find oneself, and yet it happens more often than we can imagine, or we do imagine. How does a man, Reverend Vando Caroline, love his wife, cleave to his wife, without at the same time alienating mom?
That's a very tough place to be, but divine, it is possible to live peacefully. And this, I always say, wisdom is profitable to direct. In the first place, if your mom is staying with you, as a man, it's always good to have a time of talk with her, because you need peace in your home. If your wife is not peaceful, you cannot be peaceful. So it is good to let your mother understand some things, understand how much you love her and respect her. And please, for the sake of peace, I beg you, do this and do that for my sake. I think if he has time with the mom, a sweet time that they can really talk, the mother will understand, and the mother will always back off. If it is a woman who is easier, he can also have that talk with the wife, because some mother-in-laws are very tough. So between them, he should be able to gauge who can buy what he's trying to say. So if it is the wife, he talks to the wife. So, mom is like this, it's like this. Please, for the sake of peace, please, I need you to do this, do that, do this. I love you so very much, and I am with you. But if you can just do this for the sake of peace, please, that will please me. For the sake of love, and for the sake of protecting and keeping peace at home, the woman will say yes. But some women are very tough too. They will say no. So you have to you have to feel which one can listen to you and be calm. In that way, you can always go along with them. If the two of them are tough, no, I know in most cases you cannot have just two tough people. I don't think it will happen.
Well, a Nigerian writer says two rams cannot drink from the same bucket with long horns, because the horns will clash. This is really a problem. These are practical problems in a lot of homes. It's worse in the diaspora. How? Because I'm getting text here, some people are saying that sometimes the man is just a weakling, is unable to lead. What could the man be doing that is encouraging, one, his mother to be mean to his wife, or the other way around, his wife to be mean to his mother? That would be how we close the program.
There are many things that the man can do. Okay, for instance, if I've seen here in America, I've seen a man that always goes out only with his mother. You meet him out, he's with the mom. I'm like, what? What about the wife? I'm not the wife, but it's like, what? If a man is doing that, he is just promoting the disagreement between the mom and the wife. And some men will never even pay attention to their moms. It will just be their wives, everything, their wife. He goes out, he buys anything, his wife. And then the mom gets so frustrated, jealous, and he shouldn't be doing things like that. So if you have to get anything, you get for the both of them. And of course, some will be like, I'm the mom. You see, if you have to get anything, you have to get a better one for the mom. The wife will say the better one should be for the wife. So some men, what they will do is they just get equal, same thing. You know, Jesus. I don't really know what is wrong with us women, because this shouldn't be. And even the men, you have to be wise. You do not exaggerate your relationship with one, and then you make the other one feel like she's not even existing. You don't do that. And then some men are just weak. They are not saying anything. Whether they are going up, they are coming down, he doesn't say anything. He's just there. He just wants his food to eat, and then he sleeps.
And watching the drama.
He doesn't care. I mean, that's a weak man. You don't do that. You are not a leader. Your home is without a head. A head does not behave like that.
This broadcast was intended to be an hour, to run for an hour. We're right there. I will be asking for your closing remarks, a word for the wives, and another word for mothers-in-law. I give you the space now. But while that's going on, if you want to still ask a question, my line is open, 240-603-7367. Let me repeat, 240-603-7367. Your word.
Thank you, Divine. I want to talk to the mother-in-laws. I want you to know, my sister, listen to me. I want you to know life is not physical, life is spiritual. Life will not give you what belongs to you, but life will give you what you demand. Hear me again.
Just hold your thought there. There is a caller on the line. Welcome on board Family Battles on Family Matters.
Hello, D Divine.
Yes, I'm listening to you.
How are you doing, sir? This is Eric Walla.
Hello, Eric Walla.
And my greetings to Bishop.
Thank you.
Your question or a comment?
Yeah, a comment, not a question. I respect the woman of God. I know that she knows the scriptures very well. We shouldn't be confused about these things. I don't listen to the whole program, but I caught her at a certain point. I caught the program at a certain point, and I wanted to make just my own little contribution. Like clearly, yes, I think my mother is my father's wife and not my wife. So me and my wife, we are one. My mom and my father, they are one. So when once I leave my mom, the Bible says a man shall live and be joined to his wife. It's true, I still love my mother. But my wife, my mother should understand that my wife is the one that sees my nakedness, that knows my secret. The Bible makes it clear that she takes the first place. It's not like you despise your mother, but the position should be clear, because if you don't make the positions clear, then there's gonna be a fight. There's gonna be a fight regardless. So it is good to stand by the word of God, which says your wife comes first. It doesn't. The Bible says honor your father and your mother, but your wife comes first. My mother should be looking for my father to buy her the best stuff. I have to give stuff to my mother, to get my blessings and to make her happy as I'm supposed to. But you cannot talk about your wife without talking about the kids. So I have a wife and now a responsibility, which I expect my mother to appreciate and understand that and take her position, to support us and not be in any kind of competition with my wife. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Eriwala.
Can I say something there, Divine?
Yes, your comment.
Yeah, I think that is very right. So we were looking at women or mother-in-laws who are alone. Some are single mothers, some are widows. So we're looking at that scenario too. But what he said is true. You have to live and cleave and become one. So, but if the mother-in-law has a husband, she has no business even having any problem with the daughter-in-law because she's busy in her own home. We are talking about elderly women who are widows and those that are single mothers. And we are saying, let the wives be compassionate and let the husbands also have wisdom. They shouldn't just neglect them.
I have now to give you room for your concluding remarks. And after you conclude, I'm going to read a text sent to me by one of the viewers. Yes, go ahead, Reverend Dr. Caroline.
Yeah, I was saying that I'm talking to my sisters, mother-in-laws. The last speaker has just helped me. So I'm speaking to those that are single, that are widows or they are single mothers. They were not married. Life will not give you what you deserve. Life will give you what you demand. Life is spiritual, life is not physical. My advice to you will be, please learn how to pray. Some of these things, they are attacks, spirits that come to bring confusion, take away your peace. Your child that is supposed to take care of you, you are fighting every day with him or with the wife. Those are things that the devil will bring. So learn how to pray. For those that are married, I will tell you that please, the same way you want your husband to treat you, that's the same way your son should be treating his wife. And again, be prayerful. Make sure that you don't plant what you don't want. If you are married, you have your husband, whatever you want in your home, please want the same thing in your son's home. And therefore, sow what you will reap tomorrow. So now I go to the daughters-in-law. Daughters-in-law, become passionate. Have mercy. The husband is yours. You have him totally. The mother has handed him to you. Just be merciful. Be compassionate. When you look at her, have mercy. If she makes errors, forgive her. And please let there be peace. Mother-in-laws, be wise. Love your daughters-in-law in order to give peace to your son. Draw her closer to you. Let her be your best friend because she's the one that is taking care of your son. So you have to make sure that she is peaceful and that she is happy so that the son that you love so much will be happy and will be peaceful. So daughter-in-laws, you love your husband so very much. You want your mother-in-law to bless your husband, bless your children. Please be wise, be compassionate. Make your mother-in-law your best friend so that she will bless your family from her heart and peace will reign. Women, let us use wisdom. Prayer is the key. There are wicked spirits that come to destroy families. The devil hates families. We should not be ignorant. Make sure you are praying for your family and use a lot of wisdom. Be friends. That's just the bottom line of it. Be friends. Befriend your daughter-in-law. Daughter-in-law, befriend your mother-in-law. And husbands, promote that friendship. Encourage them, especially women who are widows or who are single mothers. God bless you.
Thank you so much for that powerful word, Reverend Dr. Caroline Vando. Here's a text, and the last one I read on this broadcast, Family Matters. I had a girlfriend, missed out on a great marriage and loving man, called off the wedding 2 months before the wedding because she claims he was too close to his mother. I told her, I told her a man who loves his mom will cherish his wife. She missed out on a great husband. Well, we did not design this program to just bash on ladies, mothers-in-law, or wives, and so on. We just decided to talk on the side or take the part of the women. We will very, very, very soon be talking about obnoxious fathers-in-law. Now, I am a father-in-law. Let me tell you what I do when I visit my daughter in Texas. I make sure I don't offer an opinion if they did not ask for one. And even when they do ask for an opinion, when I give my opinion, I create the room for them to not take it. Because when somebody asks for your advice, as a father, say that's your son asking for your opinion, or your daughter asking for your opinion, like my case, that's only an advice they're asking for. They don't have to take it. And you have to understand that they don't have to take it. And if they don't take it, it's because they feel that you are sharing your advice from an experience that doesn't apply to them. So have that open mind that when you advise your daughter-in-law upon request, or your son-in-law upon request, it is only an advice, and they can take it or not take it. Have a wonderful evening. My name is Divine Chamukong. I'm anchoring this broadcast from Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. I thank all of you who have been watching in great numbers. This broadcast is permanently on YouTube. Just simply go to our YouTube channel and search Chatnite Africa. It's also on our Facebook. My timeline is open to the public, and our professional broadcast page. Once again, I want to thank you. You have a wonderful week ahead, and we will keep bringing you broadcast that's relevant, content that's relevant to your needs. I want to thank my producer in Lagos, Nigeria, thousands of miles away, Mr. Ze Roger Fole, and also my director of transmission, Mr. Mumbalingwa. Very soon, you will start watching documentaries on Chatnite Africa. There's one already we played the other day. It's currently on our YouTube channel. Please, when you go to our YouTube channel, show us love by subscribing. Thank you all for watching. And that's how we wrap up this edition of Family Battles on Family Matters on Chatnite Africa. Bye for now. Merci à tout le monde.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm coming to get down. I'm coming to dance, We're gonna dance, we're gonna get down, we're gonna party hardy. We're gonna boogie woogie, and when we jam, it's out of sight. This song right here, it's dynamite.